All right, today we're going to talk about a more advanced topic that I don't see many folks talking about here on YouTube. It's really the secret to copywriting. The secret to copywriting, and I'm going to try and simplify this for you today. This is not something you learn in a book or anywhere else. You have to actively go out and try and fail until you realize that this is a secret, and then you'll kind of start to know where to look and you put the pieces together. But this is years worth of research that I'm passing on to you in this very concise, compact video. I'm going to try and simplify this secret for you to copywriting. But if you get this right and master this concept, well, there's no reason why you can't be a millionaire within 12 months. That is not an exaggeration. This is video 91 in a row. Please let me know if you are, if you have been on this channel. When have you ever known me to exaggerate? So what I mean by this claim here is if you just zoom out for a second, you would realize that copywriting has been one of the most lucrative skills in marketing since literally the beginning of time. Copywriting has made more millionaires than any marketing skill ever if you consider that it's embedded in everything: ads, webinars, print copy, emails, YouTube titles like the title of this video, so on and so forth. Now combine that with this white hot literal blue ocean of a space that is AI, and the fact that those two, copywriting and AI, have merged perfectly to create an even bluer of a blue ocean and an even whiter of a white hot space that is AI cold email. So now the early adopters are coming in, cashing in by integrating AI cold email into their existing business or building an agency around AI cold email. But so many of them are falling on their face, and it's because they don't understand this one tactic that we're going to go through in this video, this one concept. All the big marketing agency owners know about this, but I'm going to share this with you because this is a secret. It took me way too long to learn, but when it did, it changed the entire trajectory of my agency. So I'm going to try and explain it to you today without overwhelming you, but just know that it gets way deeper than this. And due to the uniqueness of your business, your agency, if you have one, or if you're considering starting one, and due to the limited time that I have here on these videos because I'm busy running my own business, I really only get to share 10%, if that, of what I know here in these videos. So, nevertheless, if you stick around to the end, you'll be a lot better off than you were before you clicked on this video, and a lot better of a marketer, that I promise you. I'll never leave you hanging, and I'll never leave you behind. Let's begin. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Pablo. I'm an online entrepreneur currently scaling Scale, my AI marketing agency, to 7 figures in real time with daily documentation on this channel. We currently generate over $250,000 a month in deal flow for ourselves and our clients. I work with businesses doing over $1 million a year in annual recurring revenue, helping them scale with AI cold email and also through helping them design and convert premium offers. You can get this document for free as always. Link is in the description. It'll add you to my newsletter. Don't worry, I won't spam you. I'll just send you some free tips and notes throughout the week with some stuff that will make you richer. Now, let's begin. What we need to talk about today is the concept of demand capture versus demand generation, because this is really how you take your copywriting to the next level and start getting serious results. Without this, it's pretty much impossible to get good at any sort of copywriting to the level where you start hitting these 20, 30, 40, 50K months that we talk about here on this channel. It's the same thing for ads, webinars, content, marketing, but we're focusing on email today because it's really hot right now, especially with AI. There's been this total resurgence of cold email, and rightfully so. And if you can learn the skill, you know, demand capture versus demand generation, you will by default put yourself in the top 0.1% of copywriters and marketers, because almost nobody, and I mean that, truly understands this. This is something that I consult my clients on a lot when they ask me what my plan is for initial launches. And it's something that we never stop working on because we're always refining and optimizing these campaigns. So let's get into it. Plain and simply, what is demand generation? What is demand gen? What is demand capture? Demand gen means you're generating demand for an offer, okay? Demand capture, so demand gen, you're looking to generate demand for an offer. Demand capture, you're looking to capture those already in market for an offer. So imagine I wish I could draw on Notion. Notion, if you're watching this, I might tag you on Twitter. Please add in some sort of feature where I can use a pencil and draw like you can on Miro boards. Anyway, so Well, I'll get to this in a second. But the more novel the offer, the more it will naturally generate demand. Think of like Bitcoin, right? It just the concept of a Bitcoin and the fact that it hasn't been around for a really long time. I mean, now it has, but that's something that will naturally generate demand. It's this new thing, right? The closer it gets to like a one of one of a product or service, the more it naturally, just on its own, it radiates this. The new kids call it aura. It generates demand, right? The more saturated the offer, the more common the offer. Things like lead gen, for example, things like Facebook ads, for example. The more saturated the offer, the more naturally, the more it will naturally only appeal to those who are currently in market for it. Right? So it's like window cleaning. Like, you know, those folks who come to your door to door, and they ask if you want your window cleaned or your driveway cleaned. They're just trying to capture whoever's currently in market looking for that stuff. They're not trying to say, oh, we have the newest high tech, lamination for your windows so that it never gets stained. Like, that's a new technology. They're trying to generate some sort of demand here versus demand capture. They're just trying to capture anybody whose windows are dusty and who are in the market, for some window cleaning. And you can skew any offer to be more of a demand generation offer or more of a demand capture offer, depending on how you frame it and position it with your copywriting. Do you see why copywriting is so powerful? You can take a window cleaning offer, and based on how you frame it, it can be demand gen or demand capture, and there are advantages to doing both. None is better than the other. You just got to know when to skew when to skew an offer towards one side or the other to separate it from the crowd. So window cleaning, if we talk about the lamination or the kind of coating or the kind of paint or how quickly you can do it or so on and so forth, you're emphasizing these benefits to generate demand. Versus if you just present it as this window cleaning, well, then you're just capturing demand. And let me again not position this as though demand capture is less than, because it's not. So a lot of times demand capture will save you resources, right? A lot of times. A lot of times demand capture will save you resources. Anyway, and if you are in an underserved market, I can't think of an example right now, forgive me, but if you're in an underserved market, what's a great underserved market? Let's just say like you send cold emails to some remote area in like Alaska for window cleaning. A geographic location that likely doesn't get, not likely, but for the sake of the scenario, doesn't get the attention it needs from window cleaning businesses. Well, then there's likely to be a greater concentration of people in Alaska in market for window cleaning because their windows are dusty. There. So you don't really need to focus your time doing demand gen. You just run demand capture campaigns all day. You see how that works? So there's a lot of strategy that goes into cold email. Okay. It's beyond just little templates, but do you see why copywriting is so powerful? Because you're doing this, you're generating demand without the other person really knowing it. It's important that you know why we use certain words in the emails. Now we'll go into this by using a real example. So here's a cold email I received yesterday. Okay, I'm going to try and zoom in for you. This one was okay. It was okay. I'm not here to roast anybody's cold emails today. Okay, it's Sunday. We're gonna be nice today. Okay. So this one says Pablo. The subject line says regarding Pablo. Terrible subject line, by the way. But hey, the subject line's only purpose, like we've mentioned time and time again on this channel, is to get someone to open the email. That's it. A lot of the times, there's a few of these elements in these emails whose only purpose is to get the person to the next part. Subject line is one of those. And then the relevance line is one of those as well. So Pablo, saw your LinkedIn profile and your agency. Terrible relevance line, but I'm still reading the email clearly, okay? So Pablo, saw your LinkedIn profile and your agency. Most agency founders I speak with are trapped in client acquisition hell, while their competitors build authority and attract clients automatically. We'd build a complete inbound engine for Vintascale, my agency, that guarantees 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund, plus we work for free until you get them. Should I send over details on how this works? Best, James, co-founder, kept anonymous. So what's wrong with this cold email? If you've been watching my channel, just take a second and think to yourself, what's wrong with this cold email? What do you notice? What do you notice? What do you notice? So let me help you out. So besides the fact that they're informing me of things, right? You see in that second line where they say, most agency founders I speak with are trapped in client acquisition hell while their competitors build authority and attract clients. He, she, or they. It's James. James is trying to inform me of things. By the way, I think this was like a genuine cold email. I don't think James actually watches me on here, but he might. Who knows? He might. Doesn't matter. Shout out to you, James. So besides the fact that they're informing me of things, and by the way, I've said this a few times before, but don't inform the recipient of everything. Don't inform your prospect of anything. Don't teach them. Don't teach them anything. We're not here to tell them about our observations or anything like that. Okay. We can do that once we're friends, once there's a bit of a relationship on a coffee date or we're on a Zoom call or whatever. Even on Zoom calls, I don't inform people of things. Rarely, very, 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 very rarely. I ask questions. I'm really good at, this is not about me, but I'm really good at sales. I got really good at sales when I just learned to ask questions and stop trying to do the word vomit thing, okay? The convincing thing. Don't convince people. Same thing in your emails. This is copywriting. Copywriting is the written version of sales, okay? So don't inform the recipient of anything. Don't teach them. That's a cardinal sin, and it will make your campaigns flop. You'll end up in spam. I was nice enough not to put you in spam, James. You will burn your inboxes because you will end up in spam, and you will waste your time and money. Okay, so don't do that. Don't inform people of things. But anyway, what's wrong with this email? So besides the fact that they're informing me of things, and besides the fact that there's no opt-out line under James's name, and a couple of other little boo-boos, but I won't go over those because those are minor. Let's center on the single most important part of this cold email and any cold email ever, the offer statement. All right, so the offer statement is that third line right there where he's talking about what he's proposing, okay? So the offer statement is, we'd build a complete inbound engine for Vintascale that guarantees 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund, plus we work for free until you get them. What's wrong with this offer statement? If you can just take a second and think about this, if you've been on this channel for a little bit, sat through my copywriting workshop. So what's wrong with this? So besides the fact that this offer statement is not terrible, it's not terrible, but we're going to tweak it, and I'm here to make you great. You want to be good, you can go buy some little $9.97 course over there on copywriting or something like that. You want to be great from someone who's actually doing this, come hang out here, okay? For free. No charge, for free. We work when you're already good and you're up to speed, okay? But just get good on this channel here for free. So what's wrong with this offer statement? So besides the fact that it doesn't mention how they're going to get me the leads, so the tool or the vehicle, this offer statement also it comes off as very stale. Like when you write something, I want you to imagine saying it to someone on the street. This is what you're doing. This is like your script for door-to-door sales, pretty much. This is what a cold email is. So, and this is how much time you have to capture people's attention, right? So imagine being on the street and saying, we'd build excuse me, sir, Pablo, found your agency on LinkedIn. We'd build a complete inbound engine for Vintascale that guarantees 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund, plus we work for free until you get them. So I know we're probably we're probably focusing on different things, but the offer statement comes off as very stale, very bland. I'll tell you what I mean by that exactly. It comes off as something I've seen before. There's no intrigue here whatsoever. Remember, the whole concept that we're learning today is demand capture versus demand generation, right? There's no intrigue here. Remember the window cleaning example, right? By the way, I don't know what a complete inbound engine is at all, right? But it doesn't mention how they'll get me the leads. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff wrong with this. Let's dissect. Let's dissect so you can see what causes someone to conclude that this is garbage. What causes someone to, no offense, James, what causes someone to conclude that this is not worth responding to. That's a better way to say it. So let's dissect this. But there's no real effort to generate interest from me whatsoever. But anyway, let's dissect this. So first part says, we'd build a complete inbound engine for Vintascale. Is there anything special about this? A complete inbound engine? Personally, I have no idea what a complete, I mean, I do, but I don't know what, I don't think that person and I are on the same page about what a complete inbound engine is. You know what I mean? Like, are they handling it end to end and through what platform? And how much work is it going to take from me? You're going to build it. Are you going to manage it too? Right? So I'm asking all these questions, and these can be answered with very particular verbiage, which is where the copywriting skill comes from. And I'll show you exactly how I would write this out in like 2 or 3 different ways to make it, no joke, 100 times better. Like my version will, you can James, if you're watching this, you can A/B test my version. Okay. I'm doing this for you for free. Okay. Just hold on for a minute or two here. So is there anything special about we'd build a complete inbound engine for Vintascale? Is there anything special about this? Not really. Like, there's nothing like, there's no fireworks around this, right? Is there anything that would make you pay attention even a little bit? Just be honest. Maybe the fact that it's like an engine, like engine is kind of interesting, but I don't know what that means, right? So would your mom understand this? And I'm not saying that to be offensive. That's something that's really what I think about is would my mother understand this before I send an email? So I have recommended this to you guys before. Hemingway app. I'm not endorsed by Hemingway. I have no affiliate partnership or relationship with Hemingway. But you can use Hemingway. You can't see it. You can use Hemingway. There. See where it says grade 8 readability on the top right? So it shows you the grade level of your writing. And it's not something you should be relying on, but it's nice to check. Look, this is a grade 14. It's too complicated. It should be at like a grade 3 or a grade 4. Maybe a grade 5, okay? I used to use this a lot at the beginning, and then now it's just second nature. But look, this is too much. It's a grade 14. Probably because inbound engine is there. Okay? Look, now it's down to a grade 12, and it's too long of a sentence. There, down to a grade 6. See, those 2 changes immediately made it simple. It's a run-on sentence, and I took out like that weird inbound engine verbiage. Anyway, so let's get back to the nitty-gritty. I hope I wasn't blocking that the whole time. Anyway, so besides the fact that it doesn't mention how, this is probably my biggest gripe with this. It makes no effort to really generate interest. So let's proceed. So what do I mean by that? Because I know how abstract this can sound. I know. So we'd build a complete, by the way, if you want to get really good at copywriting, I've said this before, but just binge good cold emails. I've given you guys my entire swipe file. My entire one. It's on my Gumroad. So further on, the offer statement says we'd build a complete inbound engine for Vintascale that guarantees 100 qualified leads in 90 days. It's a good claim. It's a big claim. And oftentimes a big claim is good for generating demand on its own. I'll talk about that later when we talk about copywriting stuff. However, where was I? However, it still fails to generate demand because of who I am and as a business owner. In other words, where I am in my journey as a business owner. So in other words, if I was like a really green, fresh rookie business owner and it was my first time building a business, I might be intrigued by that really big claim. Oh my God, 100 leads, right? But I'm not. Simply because, I know what deal flow kind of looks like with my agency, where I'm at, so on and so forth, right? with the client acquisition systems I have. Inbound YouTube is a huge inbound engine for me. And then I have cold email, of course. LinkedIn as well, but I'm not too active on LinkedIn. So this is not for me, which is where targeting comes from. And that's okay. You're not going to shoot 10 for 10, 100%. That's fine. But I don't think, James, the targeting was on point here, because it sounds like you're targeting any agency. Because if you look at the relevance line, it says saw your LinkedIn profile and your agency. If you look at the offer statement, if you look at the second line, where you're teaching me stuff, it says most agency founders I speak with are tracked in client acquisition. I don't know what kind of agency you're going after, right? So now I don't know what tool you're using. Are you using cold email? Because I already do cold email. Are you using YouTube? Because I'm going to say no, because 3, 4, 5 YouTube content agencies hit me up every single day, and I'm okay. It's not a problem. It's just I'm good. So in this case, the offer failed to generate demand because it's not believable for me. Why is it not believable? To summarize, number one, they have made no effort to state how it's done. How are you getting 100 qualified leads in 90 days? How? Not that that's impossible. It's actually very possible. It's just I'm curious to know how you're doing it and how much involvement it's going to take from me, because that's another thing I'm really concerned about. Business owners are time crunched. And again, I will show you how to communicate and navigate around all these different emotions in one very concise sentence in a second. So this offer statement would have done a lot better if I had at least known if it was using LinkedIn or using YouTube. How are you planning on getting these 100 qualified leads in 90 days? Don't make the recipient have to guess. Don't make the recipient have to wait for a follow-up email to find out. Business owners are busy running a business. Make their life convenient from the start if you can, just by providing them all the necessary information, okay? Number 2, as to why this is not believable for me. It sounds like something they don't already do. And people pick up on this subconsciously. They don't know why, but I'll tell you why, because I'm a good copywriter and I do this for a living. So it's not like they're saying we help X companies do Y thing via Z mechanism. They say we would help X companies do Y thing via Z mechanism. So it sounds like theory, right? We would build a complete engine. We'd build it's something you would do in theory if you had the opportunity, but it doesn't sound like something you do right now. We help X companies do Y thing via Z mechanism. These little tiny subtle changes stack. And in the 5 to 7 seconds someone glances through your email, I'm telling you all the things that cause them to come to a certain conclusion or invoke a certain emotion, okay? Pay attention to these things. Now that I'm calling them out, now that I'm pointing them out, I hope that you will have an eye for them, because often we just have to see. Right? And I could do a whole week-long copywriting boot camp, man, and I'll turn you to a beast. No joke. You can go on YouTube and find me someone who gives you copywriting training this casually, that is this complex. I'm actually curious. I'm curious to know. Complex. There's a better word. It's not complex, but in depth. Granular. It's a synonym for granular. It's on the tip of my tongue. Granular. It starts with a C, maybe. Anyway, whatever. And number 3, as to why this is not believable. So the targeting was weak. We discussed that. Is this for any agency? Is this for marketing agencies? Note how the poor intro makes this entire statement collapse. Usually the relevance line and the line after that, which tends to be like a poke the bear question. Usually it's to set up the offer, right? So you got the relevance line right up here. And you got the ask a question, which usually is like poking the bear. And then you got the offer statement. So we help X company achieve Y result in Z time. So on and so forth, okay? It's my cold email money printer blueprint, by the way. So he says, saw your LinkedIn profile and your agency. Blah. Okay. Most agency founders I speak with are trapped in client acquisition hell, while their competitors build authority and attract clients automatically. So again, this does nothing to enhance the offer. It's critical that you use these first 2 lines right here to generate demand, aka intrigue. This is where poke the bear question stuff can come in, which is for previous videos in another video. So I, as a founder of a very particularly structured agency, don't even get 100 qualified leads in 90 days. I don't even do that. And I'm in the business of getting leads. I don't do that for my clients, and I don't get that for myself. I don't get 100 qualified leads in 90 days. Because my clientele is so specific, number one. We're saying qualified leads, okay? Not just leads in general, but qualified leads. Why is this all the way over here? Hold on. Qualified leads. Because my clientele is so specific. Remember, I'm working with, businesses doing over a certain revenue amount, a certain revenue threshold, so on and so forth. They're B2B businesses, blah, 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 right? Case study. They got to have case studies. They got to have X, Y, and Z. So because my clientele is so specific, and also for my clients, look, I don't need to be getting them 100 clients in 90 days sort of thing, right? Now, that's a bad thing. It's just not how we operate. The nature of the industries we play in. So I don't need 100 qualified leads, to be honest with you. I don't want it. So because of a lack of real targeting, and because of a lack of making the offer specific to a certain kind of agency owner, meaning you didn't specifically state who this is for. Is it boutique marketing agencies, for example? Cold email marketing agencies? And you didn't state how you do it. So is this LinkedIn automation? Is this a YouTube content agency? Whatever it is. Are you handling cold calls? Because you lack those things, you've defaulted to just being to relying on demand capture. You've defaulted to this offer being a demand capture offer, kind of like going door to door with your window cleaning offer, which is okay, right? You've defaulted to demand capture, hoping to capture anyone who's in market for just a lot of leads in general, no matter what kind of lead or no matter what value, right? You just got to make sure that you're targeting a certain kind of geographic region or a certain kind of industry or a certain company size to where they're really thirsty for something. And so there's a lot more folks than usual in market for the offer. Doesn't mean demand capture is bad. It just means you have to adjust your targeting. So at the very least, they followed the offer statement framework of we will get you X and Y time frame. Right? It's just they say we would instead of we currently do it. Like, this is what we do, right? So be honest. Did the word guarantees make you feel any safer about this? Right? Did the word guarantee, right? Like, where is it? We build a complete inbound engine for VintaScale that guarantees 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund. Plus we work for free until you get them. Like, did the word guarantee make you feel any safer? And I've cited this before, but see how it comes across. They guarantee 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund. Plus we work for free until you get, like, it's just like it overdoes the, like, it overcompensates with this stuff of what will happen if you don't get it. It makes it sound like you're not that confident, but it's okay. We will fix this, right? So because all these things are off, to summarize, because all these things are off the mark, it comes off as very templated. There was no real effort to generate interest, okay? So now, I understand that perhaps you might not know how to generate interest. So let's talk about how to generate demand and when you want to generate demand, okay? Again, you want to generate demand when you're dealing with a really saturated offer, because if you're sending out a saturated offer like lead gen, for example, one of the ways that you get an edge and compete, and the edge is built in like 1% advantages over the other agency. I get a 2% reply rate, they get a 1% reply rate, we have an edge. Now we stack that with our success multipliers, we stack that with whatever, our targeting, our sales call process, so on and so forth. Like, we get the edge in little 1% optimizations. That's it. Don't pay attention to the folks on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever it is who are posting like their campaign stats. This is why I don't parade my campaign stats. I said this before. They're posting their campaign stats screenshots with like 5-7% reply rates. They're not telling you that was for a very, very hyper specific offer that they can't scale or do again across multiple clients, or that is for a lead magnet, which is incredibly easy to say yes to, or they're just faking their stats, whatever it might be. Anyway, Generating demand. So the first thing you should do, this is your homework, is read Take Their Money. This is by Kyle Milligan, okay? Read Take Their Money. It's the best book on copywriting that I've ever read. I've read a bunch of them. This is the one. It's short, it's clear, concise, to the point. If you've read it once, you haven't read it enough times. You need to keep reading this thing, okay? And there's like a Inception. You ever watch the movie Inception? There's like an Inception part of Take Their Money. I got to sit down and interview Kyle one day to ask if he meant to do this. I'm not going to spoil it here, though. Take Their Money, Inception. Got to write that down. So this should be mandatory reading, and it is mandatory reading for anybody in Spectre. Okay, Spectre is my private accelerator mentorship program. Anyway, so here's a screenshot. Oh, we'll talk about that later. Here's a screenshot from the cold email money printer blueprint. Key things. To generate demand, you want to have elements in the offer statement and the email itself of new, easy, safe, and big. This opportunity, this offer you're presenting is something new or novel. Even better, it's the only thing, you're the only person they can get this from. This offer is easy. I'm going to show you how I make this easy on you. So you can use words like done for you, right? Anybody can do it. Safe, it's very safe, and that's part of why they try to include the word guarantee. But even better than safe is predictable. You know, we did this for X company last quarter, and they saw Y result, or this has, we've been getting this result for the last 3-4 months in a row. I've been generating $250,000 in deal flow for the last 3-4 months in a row. So the next company I sign on, if I send that in a cold email, it's predictable results, right? Big results, 100 leads in 90 days. Fast, 90 days sort of thing, right? But you gotta kind of use these in like a believable and sensible way. So what we're going to do is let's revisit the offer statement on this email. Because again, the best way to get good at cold emails is just to see good cold emails, okay? So let's revisit the offer statement on this email, and I'll show you how I would have fixed this offer statement and this email in general to boost reply rates and conversions. Screw reply rates. We want actual conversions. It'll be pretty obvious why this will work better. And James, if you're watching this, feel free to A/B test this, okay? I mean well. I doubt he's watching this, but... So, old statement is right here. We'd build a complete inbound engine for Ventascale that guarantees 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund, plus we work for free until you get them. New statement, and I gave you 3 versions, okay? So, hey, Pablo, relevant sign right here. Ventascale popped up while we were looking at cold email agencies. Figure this might be relevant. By the way, Spectre, folks, remind me, I have a custom GPT I'll give you guys access to, okay? I write my cold emails and I pop them in there. Gives you a better version. I take that and I modify it, and I just bounce back and forth like ping pong until I'm satisfied. But anyway, so this is the my jaw. This is the relevant sign. Hey Pablo, Ventascale popped up while we were looking at cold email agencies. Figure this might be relevant. Would you be interested in an inbound client acquisition system? I don't even like inbound, whatever. Would you be interested in a tool, just use that word, that connects you with X client on autopilot? So for example, manufacturing plants on autopilot. We build and manage YouTube content agencies for boutique marketing agencies. We build and manage YouTube content engines for boutique marketing agencies. Right? The word manage implies easy. Boutique marketing agencies, specific client. Now it sounds like you're really speaking to me, okay? We worked with Walmart, another AI marketing agency, and booked them 100 calls last quarter. It's predictable, right? Notice how I broke up the sentence, and I'm not spamming the guarantee, right? Would it help if I sent over a 2-minute loom going over results, case studies, and how we guarantee results? Or going over how it works, case studies, and how we guarantee results. So notice these little subtleties. I don't say we would build you. I say this is what we do. We build and manage YouTube content agencies for who specifically, right? Now it sounds like you really looked me up. Vintascale popped up while we were looking at cold email agencies or AI marketing agencies. Very specific, right? I'm not a cold email agency, but you know, very really specific. Okay, you can even delete this stuff right here, but I'm just, you can condense this even more. You can chop this up a lot. You're starting to see where I'm going with this specific tool. Now, how exactly am I generating demand here? Instead of we build and then leave me to do all the rest of the work as a busy founder, you say you build and manage. It's easy. Okay, it's easy. YouTube content agencies. So now I know the tool. I don't have to ask you for a follow-up. For boutique marketing agency specific, we worked with Walmart, another AI marketing agency, and booked them 100 calls last quarter. So you cited another company, not just another random company, but another company that you made sure to let me know was a company exactly like mine, and you got them X result. So it's safe. It feels predictable. You've done it before. It was last quarter. See that? So sprinkling in these elements here and there with these words. It's not the words it's what you're communicating. You guys see how see the difference? Right? You see the difference? This line right here, safe. Notice how I didn't say like, we guarantee 100 qualified leads in 90 days or full refund, plus we work for free, and plus we'll do this, and plus we'll say sorry. No, man. This is what we do. We build and manage YouTube content engines. I don't even like content engine. I just like, I'd rather you say we record YouTube video. We do done for you high converting YouTube videos. Like, let your mom has to be able to understand this. Okay. I don't want to ever have to ask what a YouTube content engine is, but I can go all day in making this better. Okay. And then notice my call to action. It's a bit long, but I'm being generous here. It's okay to try different things. This call to action is not going to fail. It's actually going to do really well if your offer is structured right. Would it help if I sent over a 2-minute loom going over how it works, case studies, and how we guarantee results? That sounds a lot more sure of yourself there. Okay. Act like you already do this thing. Even if you don't, just act like it. Talk like it. All right. If you don't have any case studies, use your own internal case studies. We've talked about this before. Another version. This is a one-punch offer statement. So there used to be this really popular thing. I forget who popularized it. I don't remember. Like a 1-2 punch campaign. That's a conversation for another day. But this is just like a one shot sort of thing. Very clear, concise, condensed. So it would go like this. Pablo, or first name. If we could set up and manage a YouTube content engine for you, completely done for you, that gets you calls with manufacturing plant founders on autopilot, would you be interested in speaking? So let's take a look at how we generated demand here. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this new, easy, safe, big, and I'm gonna paste it right here. Okay, I'm gonna put a divider in here. So completely done for you, easy. No stress on me as a founder. Okay, set up and manage. Oh, even better. You do the setup and you manage it. You're not dumping me with stuff. This is why I don't do build and release anymore, by the way. Mainly it was because I was so I couldn't bring myself to record a whole SOP on how they'd use the thing after we release. It's just so much work. It's like hour-long SOP walk. I got to teach them clay. I got to teach them scraping. I got to teach them copywriting. I got to teach them this. It was so much. It was too much. So makes it really easy. Okay, makes it really easy. And the fact that I'm not including any social proof line right here, you can use a PS line, but the lack of social proof, sometimes it works in your favor. Okay, a specific client does not demand generation related, but just helps you out on autopilot. Another element of easy. Another element of easy. So you set up and manage. Completely done for you on autopilot. It's like stack. If you read Kyle Milligan's book, it'll tell you all the words that communicate a certain emotion. I've just they're just in memory now. But this is just, see how this is like, this as a busy founder, this is intriguing now. Okay. And then if we do all that, would you be interested in speaking? I've used this exact template before for accountants. Not that the industry matters. This I would test something like this wherever. And it's really nice because it's really low on AI resources. As you can see, there's not much hyper personalization except for this right here. You know, your specific client, you need an agent to go probably scrape their website, figure out who exactly they serve. But that's it. It's really, it's not resource intensive at all. Anyway, I would also use the PS line to clarify further. Like, you got to go big on like 2 of these. You got to go big on 2 of these. So here I went really big on easy. On easy. And I went big on new because YouTube content agencies is still rather new. Okay. So yeah, you gotta try and you gotta go big on 1. You gotta include 2 there. Don't think too much about this. Okay, just don't. With my templates and stuff, and as you read good cold emails, this will naturally come out. I've never once had to overthink this stuff. Actually, I have. That's a lot. That's fine. Anyway, you can use the PS line to clarify further, to add in. The PS line is kind of like a cheat code, okay? You can throw a few extra stuff in there. So use the PS line to clarify anything you need to clarify further. Do it there. And to remove the need for a second email as much as possible. You want to remove the need for a second email as much as possible. So I would say something like, notice I have no social proof in this initial text. So I might say in the PS line, I might say something like, PS, we worked with X company. So we worked with Walmart, another AI marketing agency. Don't just say Walmart. Don't just say like, we worked with Fire Trucks Online. Like we worked with Vintago. What is Vintago? Vintago, another AI marketing agency. Okay. So cite the specific type of firm. We talked about this in the cold email money printer. We talked about this right here. Okay. We talked about this. I don't leave you guys hanging. P.S. We worked with Walmart, another AI marketing agency, and booked them 100 calls last quarter. There you can say what you did, not what you would do. Okay. Because it might differ from what you can get me. But it still sounds good. It sounds like you did something, okay? You've tried this before. Here's another version. So this would be version 3 for you. So this is a super short. I like sending out super short campaigns. Have fun with it. Test a bunch of stuff. I might do another. This might be for another video. Let me write this down. Show different campaign tests. I might just show you the different, like, how I crack an industry. That might be more for my Spectre folks. Anyway, I test a bunch of different things. I test super short campaigns. I test longer emails. This one says, Pablo, would you be interested in a completely done for you YouTube client acquisition? Or would you be interested in completely done for you YouTube client acquisition? That is booking boutique marketing agencies calls with X client on autopilot. This is a mouthful. Would you be interested in done for you client acquisition through YouTube? That is booking boutique marketing agencies calls with X client on autopilot. It's a bit of a mouthful, but something like this, okay? Happy to send over a video showing how it works, testimonials, and how we guarantee results. James. Something like that. I don't know if you've ever worked, you watching this, I don't know if you've ever worked corporate, but if you've worked corporate, you know how short, almost like douchey short corporate emails are, like internally. You want this to feel internal. Really short. Ideally, if you can, okay? The whole like spamming guarantees and stuff, I've talked about this, but now you kind of see what I mean by it, how it kind of like reeks beginner. So here, in this version, we are sacrificing the social proof line, which can surprisingly work in your favor, okay? So wrapping up this video, we're 45 minutes in. I appreciate you watching this. Investing in yourself, investing in your craft, getting better. Investing in yourself with a skill that will never leave you. You can't get bad at copywriting. You can't. It's like riding a bike. You only get better, meaning you only make more money if you use it, if you actually send the emails, okay? Takeaways. Number one, you want to test all these different offer positions, offer statements, right? Offer statements, you want to test them. Test the offer positions, test the email lengths, but really you should be testing the offer statements and positioning too, and also targeting and stuff like that. But don't worry, we'll get there. Paso a paso, one step at a time, okay? You want to test all these different offer positions. So the offer statements, right? Are you positioning it as easy? Are you positioning it as something novel? Are you positioning it as something big, something safe, something, you're all these different things we talked about here, the new, easy, safe, big, they're positioning, okay? Number two, if the offer is clearly saturated or it's clearly just been going around the market, YouTube content agencies, that's about to be you. And like, you got about a quarter left. You got until the end of the year before your offer is completely saturated. I know because I get a bunch of them I've shown on this channel. If the offer is clearly saturated or going around the market, you want to keep trying to make it skew towards demand generation by integrating some of these words here, right? Like completely done for you, so on and so forth. Think of the window cleaning example. If this escapes your memory after you watch this video, just think of the window cleaning example. All right. Just straight up asking if people need their windows cleaned. That's demand capture. You're capturing anyone who's praying that a window cleaner knocks at their door. Knocking on someone's door and talking about like how efficiently you can do it or how cheap you can do it, or, you know, the different coding you use or whatever it is, or how long it lasts after you do it. That's demand generation. You're generating demand. You're trying to get them on the edge of their seat, okay? And so the offer's been around for a long time, like window cleaning. You want to try and make it demand generation. So why? So you can sell more. so you can convert more. It's not that people are completely not interested. It's just they're not interested. You know what I mean? It's not that they're unwilling to buy under any circumstances. It's just you just haven't generated enough interest. Okay. And then number three, never stop trying to optimize your campaigns. Like these are initial campaigns. I'm always looking I'll duplicate these or out of version C or whatever it is, and then I'll change something. And we're always trying to optimize. Always, whether it's with YouTube content titles, you guys might have seen this. Like I'll throw up a YouTube video. Then I might, in like 6 or 12 hours, I might adjust the title with one word. I'm always optimizing and observing. Okay. Now, homework, again, read Take Their Money. You can find it somewhere on the internet, but I included a little link to Kyle's website. It has like the basics of what we talked about today. Okay. Copywriting 101, the basics of writing good copy. My offers and updates done for you service is limited to B2B firms doing $1 million a year ARR or $80K a month MRR on an invite only basis. Engagement fee begins at $50K. Okay. Website has more information. Spectre mentorship / accelerator program to be announced in the coming days. Spots will be limited by application only, first come, first serve. It will be the best program on the market for anyone looking to become $1 million a year earner through an agency and scale their agency to $1 million a year, as I've done for clients on several occasions, as shown on this channel on several occasions. It will be a copy paste of the systems I've used to scale their businesses and mine, led by a copy paste of my AI cold email system. It is the most bulletproof, tested, results-oriented program on the market. Not like any other program available to date. No BS, no fluff. Just designed to get you results, okay? If you think the stuff I share on here on this channel is valuable, I'm about to put you light years ahead. It will be a private group of results-driven A players who are looking to scale quickly with a proven cold email system, branding system, and dominate. Spots will be limited as I will be working with you personally, okay? This is personal with me. I'm not going to toss you over to some other coach, okay? Only for the most invested and committed. More to be announced soon. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.